Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a monster of a report to share with you. This one specifically in regards to the economy, the Federal Reserve, and some speed bumps, if you will, that the Fed is going to hit hopefully really soon, because we have to do something now in order to get this economy flipped around, or we could be in dire trouble. Now, on this report, I wanted to bring on a specialist who really knows his stuff, so I've got with me Colin Plume with NobleGoldInvestments.com. So are you with me over there, Colin?
Yeah, hey Lisa, how you doing? Great to be here.
Awesome. I'm doing good. I'm so glad you were able to come on. The last couple of times you came on, we had some amazing stuff happening with the economy, but let's just delve right in. I know I trust you guys as my gold source, my working with Bitcoin. As you can see, I've got tons of your gold products here. So if you guys aren't involved with Noble Gold, get involved. There's links below and many great deals and stuff. But let's just get straight into the House resolution. What's going on? What is this House resolution, and when was it introduced, and what does it do to the Fed and gold?
Yeah, so HR 5404 was pushed out there by Congressman Mooney, Alexander Mooney from West Virginia. In essence, the bill is easy to read. If anyone requests it from us, we'd be happy to send a link to it, and I'm sure you'll have some links in the video also. But basically, he talks about fixing the dollar back to gold on a fixed weight exchange. And the issues that he brings up are issues that we've talked about, Lisa, many times, talking about inflation, talking about our debt, and really bringing to light a lot of the facts that we've discussed in a number of different books, ebooks, and just on this video. But one of the things that he talks about in detail is if the inflation rate is 2% every year, which is the government mandate, every 35 years we lose half the value of our money. So if you're keeping money in a savings account, or you're just looking at buying the day-to-day goods that you need, every generation we're losing tremendous value. And so going back on a gold standard, fixing our dollars to gold, would eliminate that kind of market volatility, and it would put the hands of money in the people that should have it. And that should be, we shouldn't have this kind of heavy inflationary period. We shouldn't lose half our buying power every 35 years. And so putting us back on the gold standard would eliminate that.
Okay, now I know I read some in this article where it says, and I'm going to quote it exactly. Let me grab that piece. But it says the gold standard puts control of the money supply with the market instead of the Federal Reserve. What kind of repercussions could we have with the Federal Reserve? Because everybody knows they're run by a bunch of foreigners, bunch of bankers. They care not about the American economy. All they want is money in their pocket. They want the control. We need to eliminate the Fed. Sure. And backing it by a gold standard, what is that going to do to the Fed? Are we looking at the death of the Fed?
Well, absolutely. And I think when people hear the word the Fed, they think that somehow the Fed is a branch of the government. The Fed is not. The Fed is independent. The Fed is made up of the largest banks. So really, they only have their best interests in heart, and that's why they continue to devalue our currency and manipulate our currency and basically do whatever they want to help the banking system. They don't help the average American with what's being put out there. So I think fixing us would eliminate their control. It would make it more difficult for them to just print money, because our money would be tied to something fixed. The other thing it would do is it would put Congress in line, because every year we talk about they can never balance the budget. The only reason they can get away with not balancing the budget is because the Fed just goes ahead and just prints more money. Well, once you tie our economy to gold, you'd have to fix the economy. We'd have to have a budget, because we wouldn't be able to print and print and print. So it puts onus on the Fed. They would be in trouble. They wouldn't be able to dictate policy. And it also puts a lot of pressure on our politicians to get our books in order and to pull us out of this tremendous debt. And a lot of subscribers have requested our Government Lies Exposed ebook. It was written by an economist. It wasn't written by us, written by John Williams from shadowstats.com. He went to Dartmouth, magna cum laude. He's been an economist for the last 50 years. And he says that our debt actually is over 100 trillion. If you talk about debt, outstanding debt going forward, Medicare, Medicaid, just money we owe for treasury bonds and different things and all over the world, So by putting us back on something fixed is a better solution than what we're doing right now. Now, ultimately, is it the solution that will win and will work? Nobody knows. But I think getting our money aligned and getting us in a situation where we can't just print and print is really what Alexander Mooney is trying to push forward. And I think it's something good. And I think more people should be talking about it.
Absolutely. And I've got the book here, and there's a free ebook link below that I'll leave for you guys. But here's the other thing I want to say is, it's a percentage of gold, because a lot of people are like, well, we don't have enough gold to back the dollar, obviously. So that's why it's going to be based off a percent, 1/100th, 1/10th, whatever the case may be, just to clarify for you guys out there. So what would that do to gold itself? Because, I'm a big gold investor. I encourage you guys, convert your 401ks to a Roth IRA backed by gold. If something like this were to actually get through, I know I'm very hopeful because we need something to turn the economy around, but what would that look like for people who own gold?
Yeah, I mean, I think on the low side, I've seen reports. If we go back in the gold standard, gold would be at about 6,000 an ounce. Silver would obviously trail behind it, probably in the $200 to $300 range, which would be tremendous growth.
What is it now?
Gold's in the 1,300 range, so that would be quite a gain from where it is today. I've seen reports that it goes up to 10 or 15,000 if we go back on a gold standard. Obviously, the way the world would look at gold if we went back on it, was that it would actually be the currency that it's always been. There's a reason why gold has been a currency for 5,000 years, because it's the easiest currency to identify. It's a fungible item, which basically means that you can have big bars of gold, or you can have small pieces of gold. So every size is easy to trade and barter with. So is silver. That's why a lot of investors buy silver. And then it's something that holds its value, because no matter how much gold mining there is in the world, the supply of gold only grows by 1% per year. And so there is really a limited supply of gold. Reports out there say there's anywhere from 2 to 2.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools of gold in the whole world, which really is not that much. If you think about, most of the gold in the world is sitting in central banks. It's owned by China. Russia 2 months ago just bought 18 tons of gold. That gold's not going to come back on the market. So the gold that people are buying and selling every day is a really small amount. Most of the gold is sitting in central banks. So I think this bill, if it were passed, would get the Fed in line. It would get Congress in line. We'd have to finally balance the budget, and it would put a lot of restraints on this, free spending that we've seen with our politicians.
And that's what I'm hopeful for. So contact your congressman, let him know about this House resolution, and because this is something that I could see that would actually help the economy if it could go through, if it passes, if it gets the backing it needs. But one last article I want to talk about. I know you sent me one, and we'll just do this quickly, time for time. But Bitcoin nipping at gold demand. This was a CNBC article. But explain to me what that is and what effect that could have, because you guys deal with both Bitcoin, gold, and the economy, everything in a nutshell. But just a quick summarization.
Yeah, it's a quick article. It just kind of talks about, investors. Are they buying Bitcoin? Are they buying gold? Are Bitcoin investors taking away from gold? What we're seeing is investors that are buying gold as their insurance and safety investment. They're buying cryptos in their IRA because they see the rise. We actually, if you just watch the last few weeks, Bitcoin has been skyrocketing. It was at 6,500. Now we're close to 9,000. The beauty behind doing it within an IRA with us, if you bought at 6,500, it hits 9 or 10 or 11,000, you can always sell it, keep that money in the IRA, tax deferred. So if you haven't looked at cryptos and you're looking for something that's maybe has that ability to kind of skyrocket quickly, I think you can learn a lot from our guides. You can get a lot of good information. If you're looking for that kind of investment, I think cryptos are something that a lot of people should be looking at.
Awesome. So make sure you guys check out all the links below. You guys can call them. They have a phone number. I'll put that on the screen also below. But make sure you have, your Roth IRA, gold, Bitcoin, something that you're investing in, because there's a lot of changes that could come into play. Like Bitcoin, for example, already coming into play. The Federal Reserve, we have the gold standard, if you will, a version of it, I should say. But lots of things to come into play. So just leave the website information for us, Colin, and any deals or specials you have going on.
Yeah, Noble Gold Investments or Noble Bitcoin are the two companies. One is for precious metals, one is for cryptos. Phone number is 877-646-5347. Phone lines are open 24 hours. We do have some specials if they mention Lisa Haven, if they're doing an IRA. For this month, we're actually going to waive the fees, setup fees for any precious metals IRA. It's about a $450 savings. So if they call in, mention Lisa Haven, we can offer that. They start the paperwork this month, so we can get them started. So yeah, feel free to give them a call. Even if they just want free information, all the guides are free, and we definitely recommend getting educated in the alternative assets field right now.
Well, thanks again for tuning into my channel here. That was Colin Plume with Noble Gold Investments, and I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.